And so boys, we did it. We succeeded as Portugal. We succeeded as communist Portugal. And that means that we are the Iberian Socialist Union. We are a better Spain in all aspects. We got cores on the entire region right away. We also created two Iberian Frances, because why not? So there is Southern Iberian France and Northern Iberian France. Then we have the Socialist Republic of Great Britain. But the funny thing in all of these is that all of these communist countries in Europe are happy members of the Axis as we join the German Reich. Communist Portugal is very similar to Spain in many aspects, but it is much more enjoyable. So this is a run you should absolutely try. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. As promised, here is our second consecutive guide dedicated to Portugal. This time we are exploring the communist path, which means we will be involved in the Spanish Civil War once again. Worry not though, it is much easier as Portugal than it is as Spain. In fact, communist Portugal is a bit of a better Spain in all aspects, with a much easier civil war and an instant course on the entire region. If that sounds interesting, you're in the right place. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments and make sure to join our Discord to meet our amazing community. As always guys, if you enjoy the content I make, please do not forget to support the channel by liking the video, subscribing and leaving a comment. It all really helps the channel grow faster. That said, we can get started. As usual guys, all researches and focus priorities are in the description, so they will not be covered in the edited version. And the dedicated spreadsheet covering all steps in detail is available to tier 2 members in our shared folder. Here is our building priority and the very basic production priority. In terms of the army, we are not going to use this template. I'm going to rename the other ones after tier 3 members of the channel as usual. Andrew, today you will get our infantry template, and Dr. Hoops will get our cavalry. We don't have anything else for the time being. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select all of our divisions and we are going to change all of these Fuerza de Cazadores into Dr. Hoops, into cavalry. We can then draw a full back line with all of our divisions. Now keep in mind that we will be involved in a civil war with the communist path, in addition to the Spanish one, an internal one as well, and we will lose these two provinces. So we want a full back line that goes just behind them. Something like these, and then at the border with Spain, since Spain will be our opponent in the civil war. And we're also going to gather and train our very modest navy. In the occupied territories we are going for a local police force and a cavalry. It is a bit of a shame here, but unfortunately one of the disadvantages of the communist path is if you rush the civil war, you will lose compliance in all of these dominions. So normally I would set them on civilian oversight, but since we lose compliance anyway, local police force is probably slightly better for the less garrisons required. We're going to fix trade, but only in terms of steel. We're going to ignore aluminum. Oh, many spoilers here in the background. Many spoilers. The setup is already done. We can start. Our first goal at 11 Navy experience is to design some new submarines. There we go. So we can now change our submarine design into this more optimized one. And all of our future dockyards will be going to this design. Not that we have any. After completing the first focus, we will have enough political power to pick Army Offense. At 20 army experience, we can pick political loyalty. Now the thing is, we will lose these as soon as we switch communist, but I still like to have it for the early part of the run for the extra stability. If you prefer something else, that's fine. I guess you could pick bold attack. When you switch communist, this will automatically turn into inventive leadership, which is not great, not terrible I guess. Either way, at 100 political power, we are going for improved worker conditions. Civil war in Spain, we will be involved in it, but not yet. Now when you get this event, normally as Portugal you wouldn't want to lose your fleet to democratic Spain, but this depends on how popular the communists are, and since we're flipping communists, they are pretty popular. So in this case we are going to transfer our fleet to democratic Spain, and we will get it back later when we win the civil war with them. As soon as we complete this focus, we will peacefully flip communist, which is cool, but it's not the end, because later on we will still get into a civil war. And to help with that, we're going to use a little trick here. Now, the next focus would allow us to join the Comintern, but we don't really need that focus, as we can just improve relations with the Soviet Union, get a non-aggression pact, and in just a few days, we'll be able to join their faction. What we can also do at this point is we can switch from local police force to the much better liberated workers occupation law. This will be our new default occupation law everywhere. Now, in just a few days, we will also be able to build more military factories, and we're going to do that in Lisbon. Now, completing this next focus will make us join the Spanish Civil War on the side of democratic Spain, but it will also throw us into a civil war. Speaking of which, let's not forget to join the Comintern. Oh, and speaking of the occupation law, in Macau, so in China, you may want to keep civilian oversight if you plan to get the Macau My Day achievement. Since you need a collaboration government in here, it may be wiser to increase the compliance a bit more. It's up to you though. The next will be a decisive moment in the run, so at this particular point I would recommend making a backup save, even if you're playing Iron Man. Now, unfortunately, here there is a bit of RNG, and not much of it is directly under our control. The thing is, we will rely heavily on the Soviet Union to win our civil war, and then the Spanish Civil War. That always happens, but sometimes it can be delayed a bit too much. Now, usually it's fine. The problems I had with these are when the Italian and German volunteers are in the Sevilla area and it has an unplanned offensive. Now, if that happens, it can take forever to end this civil war. Other than that, we're going to micro just a little bit our divisions, make some minor changes, but then mostly heavily rely on the Soviet Union to win this for us. Speaking of which, we need to, of course, call the Soviet Union into this war. By the way, these are two separate wars. There is the Civil War, internal one, and then the Spanish Civil War. We want the Soviet Union in both of them. We have been saving some political power, and what we can do right away is we can switch to partial mobilization. Now, what do we do with our very small army at this point? The priority is to capitulate our rival Portugal first. Let's make the backup save I talked about, by the way. Now, the first thing we need to check in here is whether we have unplanned offensives in these two provinces. We don't in here, okay. We do in here. So if we can take a couple of tiles in this area, they might be helpful, but not in here at this point. If this region has the unplanned offensive, which you can see in here, taking a few tiles will help defend against Spain. Other than that though, our main priority here is to hold the line and wait for the Soviet Union to come and save us. We can switch to a regular front line at this point, so we can even get some planning bonus eventually. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pick the military theorist, and we're going to pick the superior firepower doctrine and the tactic. This will help at least a little bit. We can use our mighty air force. No, the Soviet Union is getting intercepted by the Spanish Navy. That's bad. Okay, we are definitely going to lose this tile, despite the unplanned... okay, they planned the offensive in Sevilla, so we don't have any unplanned offensives, which means we may struggle a little bit down here. Let's, yeah, let's stay here. It's gonna be painful until the Soviet Union gets here. This is going to be a little painful. Look at us, no stability, no manpower, no industry, no guns. Such a bad spot. But we'll not be there forever, don't worry. Don't send me the cavalry, send me some good divisions, come on. Boys, how about we push something here? We try? You going to help me? No, absolutely not. That's cool. It's very nice of you. Where are you going? Help me. Now, the first priority is to take down the other Portugal, so we open some space in the north, and then we can rush victory points up here. This is going to help a lot, but we do need the help of the Soviet Union, otherwise pushing in here is a bit tricky. Now, if the Soviet Union covers the southern front at this point, you can give it a look. You can move all of your divisions up here and focus entirely on taking down Portugal. This is nice. Let's stop some of their divisions in there for now. Okay. Oh, and down here, so the Soviets did something interesting. Potentially good, but that tank is not in the best spot in the world right now. Typical AI. Little help here, Soviets? No? No help here? Yeah, that's what I thought. Soviets, why did you leave completely the front open? Come on. I hate relying on the eye so much. By the way, let's pick the Spirit, Smoke and Fire. Painful, but we did it. Okay, now Portugal will be down, and that's already very helpful. Then we need to try and push up here, although now they do have some divisions, but we may still be able to get something done in here. Now, here it doesn't matter much how much score you have, because, I mean, the Soviet Union should behave properly and not steal your stuff. So we can just take back what is ours, and as soon as we do that, we can also start building in the area again. We can now build in all of the 100% provinces. Including this one. There are some damaged infrastructures, but we'll get them back. Oh, somehow we got Sevilla. That's very nice. So the situation here is not bad. If we get La Coruña, Oviedo, Burgos, Bilbao, maybe Zaragoza is not even needed at that point. We'll see. Okay, we should be able to get Burgos quite easily here. That's perfect. Now Bilbao, we lost Bilbao because the Soviets cannot do anything. We did get La Coruña and we may get Zaragoza, so that's good. I need to reorganize them a bit and try to push Bilbao. It's only Bilbao that we need, I'm pretty sure, here. Yeah, look at that. Anything will do it. By the way, at 150 political power, easy to miss, we're going to switch to limited conscription. But that's it. Okay, boys, not bad. Not bad at all. We got one of the two Spains. Then there is only Anarchy Spain. But that one should be much faster. So this was a pretty good timing. As you can see, it doesn't rely too much on us. But our cavalry rushing the victory points up here can be decisive. So now in the peace conference, of course, the Soviet Union has the majority of the score, which is fine. What we want to make sure of is that all of the territory goes to Spain. So we don't want to take anything for ourselves. We want to give everything to Spain, which is also much cheaper. Now, what we need to make sure that Spain gets is especially the stuff that is not a core of Spain, such as Spanish Africa. Because everything else, the Soviet Union should just give it to Spain. So I'm going to focus on giving to Spain this stuff here. Yeah, everything looks good in here, so the only thing we can do at this point is if there is any navy we can take, we can use some points for that. Look at that, we had the exact amount of points. That's pretty lucky. Okay, that's very nice. Perfect. Now we can focus on finishing very quickly anarchist Spain, hopefully very quickly. Let's see if we have planned offensives. We don't have planned offensives, so that may take a little bit longer, but let's see. In worst case scenario, we could plan a naval invasion, but with the Soviet Union, we should be fine. Now, ideally, we would want to skip the next focus and have the civil war done by the end of this one focus. So we have about 15 days to end this civil war. It's going to be closer, I have the feeling, but we should be able to do it. Come on, don't last stand. That last stand is a bit annoying, but it's still fine. Now let's go from here. If they don't have divisions in Barcelona, we are good. They don't have divisions in Barcelona, it's perfect. We finished the focus, but we still have 10 days buffer, so we are going to wait for now. The Soviets don't do anything, completely useless. You're next to the decisive victory point, why don't you take it? Okay, look at the perfection with 1 day left. We also got Anarchy Spain, so that's perfect. Look at us, we also got a lot of the score in this case. That's pretty cool. But again, all we care about is for Spain to take it. Very much fine. So we're very happy, boys, because the Spanish Civil War is over and democratic Spain won. And why is that a good thing? Because we have been waiting specifically for one focus, which is this one. As we complete this focus, Spain will join us and we will immediately gain cores on the entire region, which is much better than Spain itself. So while Spain actually doesn't have cores on their own land, we will get cores on the entire region. There is a very small chance that they refuse, and you don't actually get any message, they just don't unify with you. And of course that's a restart if it happens, and an incredibly annoying one, so maybe make a backup save at this point too. Okay, let's send back our divisions and just move on to the next focus. Oh, and by the way, our fleet is coming back, that's great. Okay, now, if everything goes smoothly, in just a few days, these will all be... No, it's not! Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They refused. No, I cannot believe this. I literally cannot believe it. This is probably scripted though. Yeah, this is scripted, so we're fucked, huh? Oh, come on, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I'm not restarting this run, so I'm reloading. I'm reloading a save in which we did it, and that should be fine. Now, whether Spain accepts the Union or not, the funny thing is the focus doesn't even give you an option. It seems like they will always accept, but there is a chance they refuse. It seems to be pure RNG. I don't think their opinion of you affects it in any way, and it looks like you need to restart. It's probably scripted from the beginning of the run. It's a very, very annoying case in which they refuse, but usually what happens is what you can see here. So they just accept, you become the Iberian Socialist Union, and you immediately get cores everywhere, which is very cool. So what we're going to do at this point is, first of all, we're going to leave the Soviet Union. We took their help, they got nothing in return, and now we are leaving them to their destiny. That's fun. That's very fun, very Machiavellian. It's fitting. Now we also want to build more military factories in Portugal, if possible, and then we can now also build in Spain. Just avoid building in provinces with the autonomous states. Now we're going to adjust the production a little bit since we got some extra military factories. So this will be our new production priority, and we're now going to fix trade for the rest of the run. So now that we unified with Spain, we actually got some of their divisions as well, but several of the new divisions we can actually not change. So these ones are locked, we want to remove them. Everything else we should be able to change, and we are going to change them to a new template. So our Andrew will now become deaf, and now we're going to use this new template we got from Spain. Gator Cat, you will get these, and this will be our off, so you get to have some fun this time. We also want some artillery in it, as we want it to become a 9-4 30 width. Now all of the divisions that we can change are going to become off. We want to have a total of 24, so we need in this particular case to recruit another 12, which we cannot do yet. These divisions, which we cannot change, will be used to push into Gibraltar. Now, we are saving political power for a very specific purpose, and this is also why we didn't want to be late with the civil war. And that's because at 170 political power, we're going to start some justifications. We want to start a justification on retake core in Gibraltar. Mind that the game must be paused or you will be screwed. Then we want to start a justification on the Dutch East Indies. Then we want to cancel our justification on Gibraltar. And we want to start one on Belgian Congo. You have seen this tactic used by me before. We used it as Spain as well. And the main reason for this is that in this way we will get 2 claims on the Dutch East Indies and on Belgian Congo on exactly the same day, which means we can start these 2 wars at the same time, and we don't have to worry about generated war tension. Now we want to deploy these new divisions as soon as possible. We want to make sure that we have the right amount, and then we also want to have 12 defensive divisions, so 12 of our Andrew will help protect the mainland. Oh, by the way, we're also going to gather and train our fleet again. We're going to pick another improved worker conditions to boost our stability. Then we're going for some radio propaganda. One of the biggest issues in this run is the lack of war support, which remains very low for the majority of the run. We're now going to pick the financial expert. And at this time we want to deploy all of our defensive divisions and set up for the invasion of Belgium. So for the invasion of Belgium, we're going to use our off, which are all trained. They still lack strength, but the training is there. That's good. We're going to send them all to the north, and then we're going to plan our naval invasions. 4 from here to here, then 3 here, and 3 here. The defensive divisions we got will help push Gibraltar and then defend the area. We would like to have some generals, so we can promote a couple of them. And by the way, guys, if you're wondering why we left the Soviet Union, is because if you stay with the Soviet Union, the UK tends to guarantee these countries, while if you leave the Soviet Union, as you can see, everything goes smoothly. Okay, we got our 2 claims and our naval invasion is ready. Our divisions are not at full strength yet, but we are doing pretty much alright. So it's important that you declare war on the puppets, not directly on these countries, because it is slightly cheaper in terms of war tension generated. So we're going to start with Belgium, Congo. And then, as usual, if you feel like it's going to be needed, or just in case, use a force attack, because, of course, disembarking here is incredibly important. And if my fleet stays here and gives us the naval support we need, that's even better. Now, keep an eye on these, because as soon as you take Antwerpen, the war will be over, and at that precise time, you want to declare war on the Netherlands as well, so on the Dutch East Indies. Let's go on and do that. This ensures that you have no issues whatsoever in terms of war tension or the UK getting involved. We do still need to keep an eye on the war tension, because if it goes above 50%, the Netherlands will join the Allies, so we need to be careful about that. So our priority in here is, of course, to annex all of Belgium, and then we need to see what the situation is in terms of war tension to decide what to do with Congo. Puppeting all of Congo will send us above, so that's a no-no. What we can do instead is we can liberate a part of Congo, and then we can check what happens if we puppet the rest. It's a little close, I'm not going to lie, it's a little close. So we could leave out something, give up on this province here. So we leave Belgium, Congo alive, that's fine. Let's see if it works this way. 48 is good enough. With war operations and resource rights, it's 49.1, a little closer, but okay, it's fine. As long as it is below 50, we are good. Now we do need to rush down the Netherlands before the war tension increases. Don't want any problems here. Let's go on and do that manually. I guess the entire Dutch army is in here, because they are not going down. Well, now it is. Okay, we got the Netherlands too. Now for the Netherlands, same thing. We're going to annex the mainland in here, and then we're going to puppet everything else. Now we don't have to worry about war tension anymore. And then we can take their navy. This is one of the advantages we have as a communist Portugal over non-aligned Portugal, because at this point of the run we were able to expand in the Benelux, giving us also much easier access to France. So this is very cool overall. Now that Benelux is taken, we are going to justify a war goal on Gibraltar. This time we are really doing it. It's a core state, and we can start it right now. We want the entire fleet to be ready in this particular harbor here. We want our offensive divisions to be ready to push into France from here. And the other thing we can do at this point, since we got a couple of puppets, is we can request garrison support, and we can request forces. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. We can merge these forces with the ones we cannot change and send them all back to Spain. Ooh, that's very close, by the way. When Germany takes Memel, that's when the war tension increases so much that the Netherlands can join the Allies. So you do need to be very fast with the Netherlands. It's a bit risky. Now at 100 political power, we are going to pick the infantry expert. Only 10 days left, and then it will be time for France. There we go. So time to make another backup save, just in case, because we will need to take down France and then the UK. And this time we do not rely as much on the Axis. So that's the cool part about communist Spain. We get to do a lot more by ourselves here after getting carried by the Soviet Union in the Spanish Civil War. So, of course, war on the UK, then the UK will call France, but we can start this push already, and we can start these other two offensives already. Okay, France immediately joined. That's cool. And we already broke them in here. Now, this part here is where you want to break through. And that's usually fairly easy. We actually have very good divisions because this artillery in here helps a lot with soft attack. Later on, we'll make them even better. things are looking good in here. And by the way, France is pushing us entirely in Spain, but we do not care. So we're not even going to attempt to defend there. We're just going to bet that we take them down before they take us down. Full last stand on the entire front. Damn French, but Paris is still down. They even got a big encirclement in here. We do need a couple more victory points. No, we don't. That's it. That's enough. That's France going down to Portugal. To the Iberian Socialist Union. Just my idea. I think we should get cores on France. Just like that. Why not? I mean, this looks like a coring kind of territory. But we do not. Unfortunately, we do not. Still, that's fine. As communists, as you know, we have the liberated workers. Probably the best occupation law in the game. So that really helps. Now we're going to change the production a little bit since we will have a lot of extra military factories now. And here is the new production priority. Now aimed at getting the new infantry equip as fast as possible while we keep some on improving the artillery. We also want to recruit another 12 defensive divisions at this point. And we want to create an agency and start spying on the UK. Now we don't really want to send our supplies and convoys through these regions, so we're going to block them. What we are going to do with this offensive army is something interesting. We're going to prepare them here at the border with Germany, but probably not for what you expect. The other thing we want to do is we want to defend from naval invasions, so we're going to use at least 12 defensive divisions up here and the rest down here, ready to move them around when needed to defend from naval invasions. We can now also increase motorization priority to everyone. There we go. So what we wanted is it a bit early, Germany? That's a bit early. Yeah, it's definitely early. But Germany should ask us to join their faction soon. And when they do, we're going to join Germany. We're also going to pick domestic film industry at this point, because our war support and stability are still pretty bad. By the way, if you're unlucky, you may get one of the bad events at this point. Strikes and so on, and you may have to get rid of them. Come on, Germany, let me join your faction. Okay, finally, Germany invited us. So what we're going to do right away is we're going to help push Poland. How fun is to see communist Portugal help in the push of Poland in World War II. That's a bit weird. It's a bit weird that we joined the Axis, of course, as well, especially since they have the anti-Comintern pact. This may not be possible anymore with the new DLC. With the new faction system, we'll have to wait and see. But it doesn't matter, because the important thing is that Germany and Italy will destruct the Royal Navy later on for our naval invasion, which may also not be possible with the new DLC though. So we will see what happens. For the time being, let's try to get as much war score as possible. Look at our divisions, our Portuguese communist divisions destroying Poland completely. And we are still keeping a decent amount of the score, though of course Germany is going to earn more and more over time. Now, of course, among other things, we are waiting for landing craft. Until we get it, we don't have that much to do. We can attempt a naval invasion without landing craft, but just to be safe, I would prefer to do it with landing craft and also with the spy and intel network. It's just a bit safer. What we want to do is we want to deploy these defensive divisions as soon as possible, start training them, and prepare to defend from naval invasions. At 100 political power, we're also going to get the artillery expert. Now, the other thing we are going to do at this point is we are going to give Germany Ile-de-France, so that they form Vichy France and we can claim it and take it outside of the peace conference, which is always very convenient. Now, it's also time to unlock these sea regions, as we want to send the rest of our fleet there, ideally. Hopefully they will not be intercepted. Oh, there we go. We got Vichy France, so we can now justify on Vichy France as soon as we get the political power. And by the way, let's take back Ile-de-France. This is very funny. You give Ile-de-France to Germany, they create Vichy France, and then you just take it back. We got landing craft, we got the political power to justify on Vichy France, but now it's the tough part of every run, naval invading the United Kingdom. So the good news is with landing craft we can actually use the entire army for our naval invasion. What we want to do at this point, as usual, is split off all of our submarines, which unfortunately reveals that our fleet is smaller than it seems. We are going to split them into small groups, even groups of 3. And for now we're going to wait, because first we need the naval invasion to be ready. Now we are going with groups of 4 and we are going with 6 of them. So here is our naval invasion plan. Are they actually invading me this time? I think this time they're actually invading me, so we may need to defend this. Yeah, it's a funny naval invasion. They naval invaded and they sent everybody away. Okay boys, the naval invasion is ready, which means it is time. It is time. So let's set our submarines, naval repair and convoy raiding around the UK except for the North Sea. The rest of the fleet on naval invasion support in here, and then let's see the situation. For now it's pretty bad. Now it's important to click on this arrow. At some point you will get Green Sea and then we can go, hopefully. There we go, actually easier than usual at this point. Perfect, look at that. 51%, by the way, in this case, the intel efficiency from our spy, the fact that, of course, German navies and Italian navies are also involved, so the Royal Navy is not entirely here, massively help. And yeah, we'll need to see how long this lasts, but I will stop mentioning it in every video until the DLC releases. Now, the job is not done yet, though, because we also need to succeed with this naval invasion. Now, we want to send the defensive divisions too, so let's prepare them in there. Now, the disembarking phase is going quite well. We probably don't even need a force attack this time. If it's not strictly needed, I will not do it. Yeah, it's going very well. We can already split around our divisions a little bit. Having so many of them in here is very convenient, I must say. Nice. Awesome. This is not awesome though, so unfortunately, and this is something that can happen, we got one of the bad events. When this happens, my recommendation is always to spend maximum political power. It's just a safer choice. And this, as I was mentioning, is possibly the biggest flaw of Communist Portugal. You're very low on stability and especially very low on war support for the entirety of the run, without many ways to fix it. But yeah, we'll make it work. But now though, let's make this invasion work, more importantly. It's awesome, things are going very well here, very well. We're completely destroying the UK. And let's give a look at the war score. It's okay, 31%, I will not complain. Let's see, by the time we capitulate the UK, we should have maybe a little bit more. Okay, let's get them back in position, maybe get some planning for the last push, although the UK is probably almost done. I don't think London is enough, but let's give it a look. Now we also need probably Portsmouth. Better keep an eye on it though, because those are victory points too, so maybe that will be enough. Well, in any case, this war is almost over. So let's check some final stats. Very nice war participation distribution. We almost matched the German Reich. And by the way, this is not over, so we need to see what happens when it finishes. 51k casualties is good, I would say. We did a great job. GG, United Kingdom, GG. 43% to 46%. It's perfect. It's exactly what we wanted, and with Vichy France out of it, which is great. Now, as we mentioned in the last video, we have a couple of options. If you annex, if you puppet Ile-de-France as France, they will annex Vichy France and you will get them entirely for free. If you do not puppet Ile-de-France, you can declare war and take Vichy France militarily, which is probably slightly better, because that way you can take their navy, war operations and resource rights. So I think I will go for that in this particular run. Now, what we are going to annex for sure is Gibraltar, since it is also our core. In addition to being strategically important, we're going to annex these two provinces to invade the United States if we want to. We're going to puppet Suez because that's always great, and we're going to puppet British Malaya because that's always great. After that, we are pretty much free as to what to do. Now, the usual stuff with war reparations and resource rights. We forgot the important stuff in here, but we can take it now. It's not too late, it's not too late, it's fine. Yeah, this stuff we absolutely need to annex. There is no going around that, so hopefully they will give it up easily. Come on. Okay, perfect. If you want to go for the Macau My Day achievement, you need to own all of China, including these territories. So that's why you need them. Otherwise, I mean, it's not like you care, but... Why can I not... This stuff is bugged big time. Okay, you know... No. Ah, okay. That's... completely broken. Completely broken. Awesome. Look at this. Why? Why? A stupid game. The peace conference, boys. You really need to fix the freaking peace conferences rather than adding freaking coal to the game. Fuck it. Completely broken. Yeah, okay. Well, at least this time we remember about the China part. And now we can take more of the Royal Navy. Maybe even all of it. No, almost all of the Royal Navy. That's perfect. Now we're very happy. Look at us. Look at us. Now we're very happy, but it is time to take care of Vichy France. So to take care of Vichy France, we are going to use probably our offensive divisions to push into them from here. And then we're going to plan a naval invasion with the defensive divisions to take everything else, basically. We can now add the field hospital to our offensive template. We can focus more on convoys and then maybe floating harbors. We don't need submarines anymore. And of course, we can get an insane army by requesting forces to the UK and to France. Okay, we got our claim. Now let's make Vichy France disappear, kindly. Oh yeah, let's make sure that the puppets join as well. No, don't let circle me. And that should be it, I believe. Let me check. No, not yet. Almost. Nice should be it. No, not yet, but almost. This place should be it. That's it. Okay, Vichy France is now down as well. And I think a good idea here, a cool idea would be to balkanize them. But then again, this is entirely up to you. Either way, the main advantage of doing this is we also take the entire French fleet. So, well, now we're absolutely insane. And so, boys, we did it. We succeeded as Portugal. We succeeded as communist Portugal. And that means that we are the Iberian Socialist Union. We are a better Spain in all aspects. We got cores on the entire region right away. We also created two Iberian Frances, because why not? So there is Southern Iberian France and Northern Iberian France. Then we have the Socialist Republic of Great Britain. But the funny thing in all of these is that all of these communist countries in Europe are happy members of the Axis as we join the German Reich. But there is more. We have plenty of options for further expansion. We annexed the usual provinces, so we are ready to invade the United States, if you want to. We have now the biggest fleet in the world, the French and Royal Navy combined. And we already have the perfect setup to expand in China. Since we annexed these three parts of China, we can invade Japan, quickly take care of them, and then take down China for the Macau My Day achievement. Now we have two separate runs as Monarchist Portugal and Communist Portugal, which give you the perfect setup to continue for a world conquest, challenge the remaining majors, or going for the very tricky Macau My Day achievement. And I promise we will do the Macau My Day achievement in the next video. I will choose whether to do it with Communist or Monarchist Portugal, but we will go for it. Communist Portugal is very similar to Spain in many aspects, but it is much more enjoyable. So this is a run you should absolutely try. If you do try it, please don't forget to let me know how it goes in the comments. And guys, if you enjoy the content I make, as always, do not forget to support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Other than that, thank you all for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye bye!